Summary of The Happy Prince by Oscar Wilde. After a brief fling with a reed, a swallow decides to postpone his journey to Egypt for the winter. On his way there, he flies over a town and, by chance, lands on a pedestal in front of a golden statue. There, he spends the rest of the season. This figure, called the Happy Prince, tells the swallow about all the poverty and pain he sees in the town, especially the pain of children, from his high perch. He asks the swallow to help him ease some of that pain by giving his belongings to people who need them. First, the swallow gives the diamond from the Happy Prince's sword's handle to a seamstress who is battling to feed her sick son. One of the statue's blue eyes goes to a writer who is freezing in his attic, and the other goes to a young match girl whose father would beat her if she came home empty-handed. The sparrow has grown to love the Happy Prince, so when he loses his eyes and goes blind, he stays by his side and tells him stories about Egypt to keep his world interesting as winter gets colder. In the end, the winter gets too cold, and the sparrow knows he is going to die. He tells the Happy Prince he loves him, and they kiss. The sparrow dies, and the metal heart of the Happy Prince breaks. Later, the mayor and the members of the town council walk by the figure. They decide to have it melted down and made over because it looks old and worn. But since the metal heart won't melt, it and the sparrow's body are thrown on a dust heap. God tells one of his angels to bring him the two most important things in the city, which are the dead body and the broken heart. He says that the prince and the sparrow will spend all of eternity in heaven if they make brave sacrifices.
About the author. Oscar Wilde was born in Dublin, Ireland, and went to school at Trinity College in Dublin and Oxford. Jane Wilde, his mother, was an artist who wrote under the name Speranza, which means hope. Sir William Wilde, his father, was an ear surgeon. Wilde was baptized in a local Anglican church, and even though other parts of his life were strange, he stayed true to his Christian faith throughout his life. He was known for his commitment to the aesthetic movement. As early as 1874, he released papers on aesthetic morals in which he praised decadence and the value of art for its own sake. This was a theme that kept coming up in his plays and stories. But Wilde was also a socialist, and he wrote an article called The Soul of Man Under Socialism that explained what he thought. In 1884, Wilde married Constance Lloyd. Her yearly allowance helped pay for his expensive way of life. The couple had 2 kids together, but their relationship was thrown off track when Wilde started dating other men, starting with the writer and art critic Robert Ross. Wilde's works started to make both indirect and direct references to homosexuality. Whole parts of The Picture of Dorian Gray were taken out of print because they were too scandalous, and reviewers still called the finished book too decadent and even dirty. In the end, Wilde was put on trial for gross indecency in 1895. He was found guilty and sent to jail for 2 years. After that, he went into exile in France, where he died at the age of 46.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.